Hello. Alex Jones is really Bill Hicks. Proof in the video. Ooh. Hello, are you there? I've got this. I'm listening to. I'm actually. You wouldn't imagine what I'm listening to. It's called "Irrefutable Proof That Alex Jones is Bill Hicks" on YouTube, and it's blowing me away that he is Bill Hook. He is Bill Hicks. I mean, Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. They replaced the original Alex Jones in before 1997. He was taken out. There was Bill Hicks out there at and it's blowing me away. This blows me away because there's irrefutable proof that Bill Hicks is Alex Jones, and Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. And Bill Hicks didn't die at the time he said in 1992, I think it was. He actually, or 1994, I think it was, but he came up afterwards and took over Alex Jones' position on the radio. The features and the proof, the nose, everything is just irrefutable. I mean, I looked at the nose, and the nose is not the same. Alex Jones has this little stubby nose, like Hinckley had, and well, and there's no it's outrageous that we're. I need to turn my volume on my mic down, I guess. I'm blaring, aren't I? No, Alex Jones. No. Don't outrageous. Absolutely terrible. But yet you think of Alex Jones, he is not what he seems to be. He's actually really Hicks. And they can compare faces, bone structure,
I agree.
ears, moles, everything
yeah, I know, right?
together, and discover that he was the same person.
He completely discovered.
Was he though?
Okay, here. Let me paste this on here, and you can join in. There it is. Just join in right now. Oh, you're all joined in.
We're very enthusiastic about this.
We like this very much.
Joan Rivers actually made that contact that President Obama is gay and his wife is a transgender, and she was killed after that 2 weeks later. And he had to come back and say,
"Is he seriously gay?" And
that's really mean. This was a
Guys,
joke.
block him too quick.
Really?
Such an outrage.
Guys, block him quick.
I am sitting back here and watching. Well, I'm not really watching the video. I'm listening to it.
President Obama is in fact gay, and Michelle Obama is a transgender.
Outstanding.
Your hands on.
What was he
Yeah,
on
Bill Hicks
about?
wasn't just a
Isn't Obama being
outrageous
gay and
comedian.
Michelle being a
He was
transgender?
the perfect person to take the place of the original Alex Jones. And he came in there and
That's
took
an
the place of
outrage.
him. And now he is the disinfo person
Did any of
himself.
the teachers give you homework
He
over the
comes
holidays?
out and tells you all
I
this
kinda
stuff,
want my
but he doesn't
present now,
tell you
Katrina.
everything. He's kind
You
of
kind
like
of can't have it now, Ellie.
Like, kinda why
misdirected
not?
everything that he's telling you.
Kind of because I haven't wrapped it.
It's
because
hard
Why
to
do you
explain
wrap it now?
Alex Jones. I've listened to him for years,
because I
but yet
wrapped it.
when
I'm going to wrap it
the
tomorrow.
evidence starts coming out and you find out that Bill Hicks is now still alive and he's playing the
Guys,
actor Alex
This is
Jones,
live, guys.
this
you
is
start to
live.
realize
Look, I'll
this.
send you the link to the video that we're in.
You can come forward.
No, it says in the
and
corner,
talk
live, in a
or
yellow box.
whatever. You can
Yeah, we
You
are
can
live.
make,
Does that mean that like people
you
can just
know,
listen in without joining the call?
look
Yep.
into it. You can go out there and find out
Okay.
that he's a disinfo
This is so
person.
fun.
He actually is doing disinfo work
Show this guys
of
on.
Alex Jones
I'm going to wrap it tomorrow.
in that character.
Hello.
He's not a real person. There's several people that were close to him
No, because
Found
we
this
blocked him,
out
so he can't
and
see us.
dissed themselves from him. I mean, they just dissed themselves. Mike Dice, Dice
Oh my
went
God.
away from him. He just said,
What?
"No, I know what this guy is." Others have. I mean, you have Clemente, or not Clemente. Was the guy who does the show on RT? He dissed himself from him.
Oh.
He's a financial advisor. He actually dissed away from him in his own way. He actually came up and said, "You're really Archie. You're really, you know, you're him." I
We're
know
still
you're
live,
him.
right?
And
I think
Well,
so.
we're looking at I mean, the
Wait, what time
evidence
is it
that they
that
present
happens?
in the video on YouTube is so
Right now, Katrina.
convincing
Guys, we're like,
that he has a scar on his neck where he had a mold removed that was
There's only two
on
people
the
watching
neck
though, and that's me and
Bill
Kira.
Hicks. That it's hard, and the bone structure, the nose, everything. I mean, I recognize the nose. That was the best thing. In 1997, there was two of them out there. It was Bill Hicks starting to take over, and
How can you
Alex
still hear us
Jones.
if we blocked him?
Alex Jones had a long,
It's
thin
because
nose.
we blocked him. He didn't block us.
Alex
so we're
Jones,
still...
we see today, have a short, stubby nose.
oh God, my
The-
voice is horrible.
I'm just pointing out observations, but this is what's really happening out there. We're being disinfoed,
No, I'm not
even
watching
by
it.
the people who are supposedly part of this.
No, 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 no.
I mean, it's starting to
My voice is
question
horrible.
all these alternative
Yeah.
news medias as well.
This is so funny.
The only person I actually agree with is Mike Lindell, because he's for the Palestinians. They should allow to have their land. I don't know why the Israelis or whatever they call themselves, Jews, which are Khazarians, are
We joined
allowed
at,
to
like-
take over this land. I even heard
No,
rumors that they want to move back up to Ukraine and go back to their home. That's where they came from. They were traders that made buku bucks between the Christians and the Muslims, and it's amazing
How
when
we
you
all
see
live in
that,
Jamaica.
what the Khazarians are.
Jamaica's a
And these
nice place.
people and how they
It's really
how
warm.
they became. These people
Goodbye,
are
Bubbles.
whiter than we are as white people. If you're a white person, you look like a black person to them, because you're not as white as a piece of paper. it's this simulation that we're going through right now, and at some points people are talking about, well, there's these asteroids going to hit the Earth. Well, good. Maybe they'll kill us all off, and we'll take them out as well, and that's a good thing. I mean, just take everyone out. We don't need this. This is a bad illusion that we're living in. And for some reason, we're still living in this illusion. I know. We're being lied to and cheated and taken advantage of and everything else you can think of. And it's all happening because these creatures are allowed to continue their existence and make money off of us. They're living like gods, I'm telling you. And they want to get rid of 90% of you, Georgia Guidestones. I'm just trying to put this into a perspective that you would understand. The Georgia Guidestones, just Google Georgia Guidestones from Georgia, down in Georgia, America. Just look at those stones. They say there's only supposed to be 500 million people on the entire planet. And those will be the servants that serve these 1%ers and make them gods, basically, on this planet. Should we allow that? Should it be allowed? Should we not try to educate everyone and make us all smart? Or should we allow it all to go down to this little power of people who are de-educated and they serve the elite? I know, it's a question. I've come forward with it. I want to have a discussion about it. If you want to come on, come on. Come on. I'm going to put the link back up here on the group chat to come on in if you want to. I'm just trying to get people in here to talk. I just want people to talk about this. Let's talk about this. This is an issue that needs to be talked about. We have never talked about it this finely. I want intelligent people. I want people that's not intelligent. If you think or not, you may be more intelligent, to come on and speak of this. We got to speak the truth. It has to come out. We must discuss this. It's a discussion group. Let's discuss this. Let's talk about what these people are. Are they antagonists? Are they atheists? Are they, what's going on? Are they Christians? Would Jesus do this? I mean, and I want to bring on as many people as possible to speak about this issue, because it's an important issue. There's no doubt about it that this is important, that it's discussed. And it must be discussed. It has to be discussed. We must come to a conclusion of some form, even if it's never concluded. It's an expanding notion out there that maybe our governments aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, but taking advantage of their people. This has to be discussed. Okay. Nobody coming on. Nobody talking. It's amazing. It's really amazing that nobody's talking. Now, I'm going to put this back up in the chat. You got here somehow, so you must be able to see the chat. I don't know why it did that. It shouldn't be doubling the chat up. It's only, you're going to have to highlight down to the end until it says HTTPS again, and then enter that to come into the chat. I don't know why it did that. That's ridiculous. I mean, it shouldn't. I guess somebody has to say something to put a space in that, in the chat. We got to talk about this. This is important. This is life and death for the human race as you know it. When there's only supposed to be 500 million people left on the earth at the end of this game they're playing, we have to talk about it. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Okay, they only want 500 million as slaves. We have to talk about it. It's got to be spoken of. In other words, they figure they can manipulate and maneuver 500 million people a lot easier, maybe creating androids like in Elysium and put them down here to shoot us if we get out of control with them. We have to talk about this. This is something they believe in. They believe in transhumanism. They believe in everything that's, well, if you want to call it Antichrist, there you go. That's Antichrist. Anything that doesn't believe that Christ's teachings in the New Testament is this. And that's just a teaching. I don't go along with a lot of things out there. I'm basically Gnostic. I'm a heretic to the Pope and the Church. And the only reason I'm really a heretic towards the Pope and Church is what? The proclamation that they gave to the Indians convinces me they're evil as well. The proclamation of the church in back in the days when they came and met the Indians of America in South America was the priests read this in Latin. In Latin, they had no idea what was being said to them. But they basically, the outline of this is, we're going to take your country away from you if you don't believe that Catholics, well, not Catholics, but the church is mother and the Pope is the father, and we're going to slam your babies' heads against rocks and kill you all if you don't agree with what we have to say and believe in our religion. This is what they actually said in Latin to these native people. I'm not going to say American because they did it to the Americans as well. Native Americans, Indians, and to the South American Indians. They just told them, we're gonna take your country if you don't go with us. And they're like, what did you say? I mean, really? And this is what came out of that proclamation. It was a proclamation they read to them, and it was like evil. It was the most evil thing they could have done. They should have educated them first and then introduced this in English or their language. They should learn their language to tell them what was coming toward them. Instead, they read it in Latin. How many people know Latin? I know some Latin. I could probably get the zest of what they were saying, knowing some Latin. But they just read it in Latin to these people. It didn't speak any tongue of that language, and told them they're going to take their land. They're going to take everything. And if you don't go along with us, and it's like, you sit back there and you're sitting there going, well, how in the hell can they get away with saying, we're going to kill all your children, we're going to kill everything if you don't agree with God and church? And basically, God was the Pope, church was the mother. It wasn't a proclamation. There's a proclamation. you gotta go out and Google it. You gotta Google the proclamation that was read to the Indians. Let's put that in. Proclamation to the Indians. You'll probably find it. It's out there. This was evil. This is as bad as the Inquisition going after mid-mothers. Mid-mothers were people who did not believe how to born a child under whatever they were having, and they just did not believe in all this. Okay. And I had to say, okay, I heard something in the background. Anyways, you got to do your research on this. You got to see that our reality is being manipulated. They're manipulating your reality. They're making you believe whatever they want you to. MSM is the greatest manipulator of them all. But yeah, a lot of people are waking up. That's a good thing. They're waking up and not believing the manipulation anymore. They've found that they've been lied to. They've been lied to for years, and they're starting to wake up. Even high school kids are waking up to the manipulation that's going on in society. And they're all starting to see that we have been lied to by church and state and everything. They've been just bringing a lie down to us. Why am I a Gnostic? That should have been the title of this. Why am I a Gnostic? Because I read the ancient texts in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and well, they make better sense than what we're under. They're awesome. You've got to be in. I try to put the link up. You can come in here and you argue with me or agree with me. I don't care which way you go, ups and downs or in or outs. If you're having trouble with Google, you have to find that little binocular thing up in the upper left corner and say allow. There's a little thing, it looks like a binocular sitting down with the lenses down. And it's in the upper left corner. Now, up in the upper left corner of my screen was a binocular, at least on my screen. It may be on the page that you found this link to get to here. You click on that and you allow it. You allow both of them. Microphone and camera or whatever. I'm using mini cams and it's working perfectly doing that way. But you can come on here. There's a way of getting around Google's maze, I call it. It's a maze. They actually created a maze to get onto Google Plus channels. I am impressed. Or if you got this message and it came in through your email or whatever, you can come right on in. I think you can come right on in. I'm not positive about that. I'm not going to say yay or nay on that, but we have been hoodwinked through all this. And I'm just trying to get an audience into this room. Just get in this room. No, come on in. Come on in. I can't bring you in. I have no blocks. I have no ask permission. Just come right on in. You can all come in here. Just appear in here. Speak to me. Speak your mind. Be free. All I'm asking is you start being free. Stop being a mouse. I'm not really. I mean, I don't know how to explain this to you. I'm trying to get a conversation going. I mean, if Natalie Chamber can get 10 people in her room and she's a transgender, I should be at least get 2 people in my room. And she's a transgender. And they're having all types of philosophical discussions between atheism and Christianity. I welcome that. Let's get into a conversation about all that. Let's get into the proclamation of the Catholic Church. Let's get into that. Let's talk something that has substance to it. Let's get into everything that's going on right now. Let's have a conversation. All I want is a conversation. All right. You can get in here, say what you want. I mean, suspicious can get in here. The rest of them can get in here. Trolls, whatever. I don't care. They need to be educated too. They need to know what's going on. They're playing games, and I want to bring them out of the games and bring them into actual real discussions that's going on in the world. I want to bring them into, we're being lied to. We have organizations out there. These are horrible organizations that are out there. The IMF, for one, International Monetary Funding. We have the UN. These are all like mafias that got together and they're playing these games above our heads. And they're just robbing us. They're robbing everyone. Not like right out in the open with a gun and a badge or anything, robbing us, but they're doing it subvertly. I don't know, I didn't pronounce it right again. Subvertly, they're taking all this stuff from us under the guise of whatever. They have a guise out there for everything. A disguise, shall we say. They're masked men. They're road, they're basically highwaymen. They're taking everything away from us. We have the police doing all this, everything. Once they start doing this, it went down the ranks, going downhill like a snowball, and ended up that they're all playing this game now. And we're in the midst of it. We're in the midst of this game. We shouldn't be in the midst of a game. We should be on top of the game. Remember, the Constitution, what does it say on the very top of the Constitution? In large letters, it says, we the people, not them the people. We, they're the servants. We're the masters. Apparently that got flipped over and turned upside down. And now it's not we the people, it's them the people. The few have the power over the many instead of the many have the power over the few. We just reversed the course. It's almost like the Napoleonic law of Napoleon. Napoleon had this law where you're guilty until you can prove yourself innocent. No, in America, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. I don't know how, when, or how they got us, except through TV or something, the fake box up there that it's an entertainment instrument, got us to believe the other way. But somehow we become the other way. I'd like you to come on here and talk to me. I don't know if you're having trouble, you're working on it. I mean, I'm telling you, Google Plus has made this so difficult to get on here. The ones that are really intelligent can get on here, as myself. I can figure this stuff out. Like I said, it's like a little binocular figure thing up on the upper left. You can go on there and you click on it and it says allow the speaker, allow the camera, or whatever you're using, which I'm using. Well, you can see mini cams, but you can get on here. You can actually get on here. It's an exercise in internet manipulation, I guess, or something of that nature. You can work on this. You can get on here. I'm live. We're on live. I'm amazed that people are having so much trouble getting on here. I mean, like I said, I have in the group chat, I have links. There's a link. Well, if I put another link in, it's just going to add another link onto my links. But you have to go between the HTTPs and you just highlight it, put it up on the top of your page and the address, and you come in, supposedly. Unless they're on, well, this is the thing. I had this problem trying to go on Nadia. I figured it out. I have Firefox. Firefox works great. It works awesomely. But if you try to go to Internet 11 or whatever, and you get that plug-in, it will sit there and play games with you. You got to throw Internet 11 out. Micro crap is crap. It's crap. That's all there is to it. Firefox, on the other hand, is what I'm running this through. I'm running it through Firefox because I had so much trouble with Internet 11. It's unreal. They're a fake and a fraud. They have inferior programming, as I can see, and Firefox doesn't. And if Firefox comes up and says, give them money, give it to them. They're at least working. their system works. I mean, I've had a little trouble with them, but they actually work at fixing it. And I find that Internet Explorer doesn't fix anything. They're lost. Goodbye, Internet Explorer. I mean, I'm about ready to move it off my system altogether and just keep Firefox. And they're driving me that way because they're being inferior. They're inferior programming. Everyone can see that. Everyone sees that micro crap is inferior programming. When you go on there and you try to go on Google Plus, they want you to put a plugin in for XP Plus and Mac and Plus and Linux. And you put that in there and it doesn't do a damn thing. It doesn't do nothing. I don't know what I downloaded. It's probably a virus as far as I'm concerned from the NSA. Micro crap. I mean, I don't know. Come on here and tell me. Be informative. If you know something, bring it out. Bring it out. It's live. It's recorded. It's going to be on the internet. You're going to be able to inform people of problems out there, even with the internet, if you want to. I mean, this is a totally open conversation. Anything you want to talk about. I mean, I went through many things I talked about just to see what I can bring in to talk about. And I've done it all. And I don't know what else to bring in. Bring in the shootings of police officers? Well, a badge and a gun? Nay. GD everyone. I mean, just like the terrorists. Terrorists have a gun and a bomb in a car and GD everyone. What else is there? Drug dealers, a bag and a gun and GD everyone. This is Corporate Avenger I'm talking. I mean, I don't know how many people know of Corporate Avenger and their music. They're mad. I call them mad Indians because they're mad. They're actually fed up with the system. They've been put down so badly throughout history that I feel sorry for him being, you know, an 8th Cherokee myself. And I'm like, I understand. I actually understand. I don't think the Indians should have been put down that bad. They weren't savages. They had their own religion. They believed in a sky god, at least, and it provided them with everything they wanted, and it was happy times in their land. And then here comes the Catholic Church and their authority and their proclamation. And, well, you should understand that. The proclamation was evil. That was evil. The proclamation, they've read it in Latin to these people. Remember that. They read this in Latin. They didn't read it in their native tongue. So how the hell did an Indian go supposed to understand that if they don't give themselves over to Mother and Church, which is the Pope, and how the hell are they supposed to know this? It was madness. It's like the Inquisition going out and fishing. I mean, they're fishing. It's like the highway patrol. I see them on the side of the road, and they're fishing. Those are fishing holes. You know that, right? The highway patrol have fishing holes. They park there and they take, you know, radar readings and see if you're speeding, so they can zoom out and catch you like a fish and give you a ticket. There you go. Don't you see how this works? You have to have a broad opening of what all this is about to understand it. And I have the broad opening. I just don't see a lot of people with the broad opening, you know, coming in and saying, well, stop this. It's like the speed cameras at traffic lights. They put those in. Well, if you go through a yellow light, that was automatically running the red light. How it was programmed. You haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen the wildness that's going on in this country. You talk about the Wild West and Westerns. We're in that with modern technology. That's all it is. We changed it over to modern technology of the Wild West. And we're in it. We're living it. I mean, and if you want to know the truth, the cops and sheriffs and all that came from New York and stuff, where they had massive cities and they had to have some type of crime control going on. But it spread out like a disease across the country. It's kind of like LA. LA's the opposite. It will come up with a new law saying you can't do this environmentally or otherwise, and it will spread out throughout the country going east. And you got to see all this stuff. It's all at eyes wide open. I mean, wide open. Don't have them shut. Wide open. This is happening around us. All you have to do is open your eyes and watch MSM, and you sit there and watch them talk to each other, and you know when they're reading off of teleprompters behind each other. And it's all staged. They didn't write the stuff. Somebody else did to make the show. And that's what it is. It's a TV show on your TV and entertainment box called the television. And if you don't get this, you're not paying attention to what's going on. You're being entertained and controlled at the same time. They entertainingly control you. And they use this technology, the great technology, to entertain you and bring you into their circle. And it's like, man, I can't go along with this stuff anymore. I'm done with it. I don't even watch mainstream TV. I took Fox off a dish. Good riddance. They're getting ready to take it off a couple other ones. that are getting ready to go. No, why? Because nobody's watching them. Because they're lying and deceiving us. And people are waking up to the lies and deception. And they're ready to just turn it all off and go on to the alternative news. The only place they can get that is where we're at right now. Where we are at right now is where we get alternative news. We don't get alternative news anywhere else except on the internet. And that's the only place we get something that's alternative. Beck doesn't do it. Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. I mean, what do you... And Alex Jones, you know, he's on radio stations and stuff, and that's like mainstream radio. But then there's others on there. I mean, the only person I'm right now following after and agreeing with him is Mike Rivero from Hawaii. That's the only person I'm agreeing with. The rest of them are like off the reservation, basically. Mike Rivero's at least on there. I mean, he's an atheist and he doesn't believe in God and stuff, but he's on the track. He's on the track. And I go along with just he's on the track. I don't care if he's a Satanist or whatever. He's on the track. I mean, I follow after him. I, being Gnostic, are in between. Like, I'm kind of drawing between these different religions and going, they got points here and there. I don't agree with all of it, but they got points here and there. That's why I'm waiting for somebody to come on and talk with me and either agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. This radio show is open, basically. This broadcast is open. You can come in, you can talk, or you can just sit back and you can listen. I got a whole of 2 viewers that I can see on here, and that's it. I got 2 people. And they're not coming in. They're not showing up as a icon or anything. So I'm apparently talking to them and myself, and that's it. There's nothing out there. Oh, wait. A 3rd person showed up. I got 3 people. Now, if you can just get in on my broadcast, which shouldn't be hard. I don't know what the deal is of getting in on here. Apparently, you're having difficulty getting in. That's Google+. It's not my doing. I'm not blocking. I'm not doing anything. It's wide open broadcast. Come on in. It amazes me. It really amazes me that I don't have any audience right now. I had Claire Clark, I had Katrina Johnson, I had Ellie Kelly, Katrina Johnson again, and Ellie Kelly, and they didn't come in. I don't know if they left, they're still hanging around and listening in. Maybe I hit spark in them and they're still here. I don't know. All I know is I'm trying to tell the truth as well as any of us understand it. And it's, I mean, that's why I want conversation. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I out of tune here? I mean, normally I will get somebody in my circle that will just come on in and they're able to find their way in through links through my circle. On my page, which is my Spellbinder page under Google+, you can get in under my comments because I left a link there to get in and come on in and talk. But apparently I can't find a way to get you in here otherwise. I mean, I'm working on it. I can say something here, but I already did. Let me try again. I'm going to say hello. Put a couple of spaces between it, and the link will be there. That should be the link. It's the same link I had before, I think. If it's not, tell me. I just re-spunked the link on here. Let me look at some, okay. I'm looking at comments on my Google Plus page. I'm looking to see if I got the right link in there. Maybe I don't. Maybe I need to put that in here. Okay, for a couple of spaces. I'm going to repost the link and see if it's the same. Okay, it's appears to be the same. You should be able to get in on this. I don't know why you're not able to get onto it. It's blowing me away that I'm not getting an audience. I usually get 5 or 6 people come in just automatically. I don't know if they're busy, they're doing something elsewhere, and they're not on here as far as my followers. My followers will usually bring people in that they know. So I'm not really sure what's going on. All I see is 3 viewers and no audience in the show, and it's not right. We should be very much communicating right now. Like I said, if you see that big old contact, there's 2 of them there. Actually, it's 2 of them. If you run your mouse over them, it'll be one, then the other. And it's because I said, well, maybe I'm not getting it. Like I said, I missed shout out. Shout out was the best thing that YouTube came out with. You could go on there and make a shout out. You could say something and put a link, and people will come in from YouTube that's in your circles. And they took that away. They just took it away. I don't know why. It was great. I could get people to talk on here. It's the now time. Come on into the now time if you can. I have no other place I can post a link. It's pretty screwed up. I can't post a link. And no, I can only do it between Google Plus with Spellbinder and YouTube. And YouTube doesn't have shout out, so I'm not sure how to do this. I'm going to check something on YouTube. I'm going to go YouTube and go see if I can leave a message if it's got me on uploads listed here. I don't know what how to select a file to upload. Now let me go to YouTube. I'm going to try something here. My channel. I'm going to go put the link on my channel if I can, if it gives me the option. I don't even know if they give me. It says live now on my YouTube channel. And you should just be able to click on now time and come right on in. And it even says how many people's watching and everything. So this is on YouTube as well. I don't see why there's so much. Well, come in, Susan McDonald. Please come in. Come in now. Just click on the link. I mean, I don't have anywhere in YouTube to leave a message on now time unless I click on now time and it takes me there. And okay, let's do it this way. the okay, I'm getting ready to turn this on. I'm going to see if I can get a message. I'm, I'm shutting myself off of the playback. I've been on for 55 minutes and didn't have a live person on here with me. What is up with that? Info and settings. Okay, I'm going to info and settings. Now time. Okay, I'm going to paste on my YouTube, same address. Okay, there it is. It's on there. Save changes. And hope people start coming in. I have no one coming in. Okay, I went and played with it and YouTube, and I actually found a place I could put my address in YouTube under live now. You go there and you go live now, and there's a message there that says how to get on here. How you can actually show up on my page. If you don't not want to show up on the page, that's okay. I mean, I'll go on and tell you things. What do you want to know? That's what I want people on here. What do you want to know? What is it that's, you know, bugging you about government, society, everything? I want to know. I want to talk about it, and I want you involved in it, because we all are part of the same world. We're one big family, and we need to be educated amongst ourselves. Education not from a teacher. They're all socialists. Don't you know what a teacher is? Just look at a lot of it. I mean, not all teachers, but a majority of them are socialists. They believe in things that isn't American. They believe in things that isn't, you know, capital. With the control of the Constitution. They don't even have a course anymore teaching the Constitution. I had a course in constitutionalism when I was in high school. Why is that been removed? Or is it still existing in some places? There's another question out there for someone to come on and tell me, yeah, it's there. It's still there. The Constitution. So it's like an open phone line. And call in and give your opinion. I'm willing to listen to you. I'm willing to sit back and let you rattle off whatever. And it's not like I'm trying to stop anyone from talking or anything. You're welcome on this program. And I don't want to call it a program. It's a show. To show people this is what's out there. This is what's out there. Here's people that say this. Here's people that say that. I'm really open on this. Really open. And I'm just amazed I haven't got, you know, 10 people on here right now having discussions about whatever's on their mind. They should all be having discussions right now. What's on your mind? A Sunday afternoon. What's on your mind? What is it that's bugging you about whatever? GMO, government, you know, society in general, religion in general. It doesn't matter. Let's have a discussion. I'll sit back and let you guys just jabber on. I gave basically everything I wanted to say, unless you want me to go to the unfiltered news, and then it's just headlines I'll be reading off and commentary on that, and I can go into that, and you get a lot of information out of that. Lots of information, tons of information, I should say, tons. All right, Rich, you got me going there. Okay, I gotta open it up. Another year in the clamp. Another year in the clamp. Okay, here we go. This is for December 27th through January 2nd. Scotland. Police are experiencing backlash after announcing they will investigate offensive comments made on Twitter and other social media. Citizens are justifiably concerned that politically incorrect speech and opinions will be silenced with force. Independent Sentinel, January 2nd, 2015. All right. A lawsuit has been filed in Florida against the UK's Prince Andrew for having sexual relations with an underage sex slave. That's right. A lawsuit has been filed in Florida against the UK's Prince Andrew for having sexual relationships with an underage sex slave. The also suit names multi-millionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein, who previously was convicted of soliciting sex with an underage girl. Prince Andrew denies the charge. The British political establishment was linked to child sex abuse earlier this year when Scotland Yard revealed that 40 members of the parliament and peers knew about or took part in a child abuse network. InfoWars, January 2nd. That comes out. InfoWars. Sweden. Asylum seekers protested against being placed in small rural community because they wanted to live in a city instead. The asylum seekers are free to live anywhere they want in Sweden, but if they object to the quarters paid for by the Swedish taxpayer, they must pay their own way. About a dozen of the 40 protesters agreed to live in the village when Swedish officials agreed to relocate them within 3 months. Most of the asylum seekers come from Syria. The refugees running away from a possible massacre, but that's that point. Russia Today, 2015, January 2nd. Sony hacked emails show that the U.S. and government was involved in a high levels with the content development of the interview. Also, RAND, R-A-N-D Corporation, RAND Corporation encouraged its ending, which depicts the assassination of North Korean ruler Kim Jong-un. The emails make it clear that the intent was to inspire North Koreans to actually assassinate their leader. And Michael Linton, the CEO of Sony Entertainment, is on the board of trustees of RAND Corporation, a U.S. government contractor and military think tank. Anti-war, posted 2015, January 1st. You understand now. RAND Corporation was behind this film. RAND Corporation's the ones trying to put it out there. Yair Lapid, Israel's former finance minister, said that the government's payment of $76 million in secret payments to the West Bank settlements last month was a transfer of public funds to influential supporters. When Lapid refused to issue the payments, charging that it was corruption, he was fired for lack of loyalty because he didn't go through with it and framed them. Oh, AP, January 1st. Starting on January 1st, 2015, that U.S. companies with 100 or more workers must provide abomination care with an A. I say it with an A. Abomination care insurance
to at least 70% of their employees or pay heavy fines. Employees with 50 to 99 workers must comply starting 2016, at which point all affected employees must insure at least 95% of their employees. Businesses with fewer than 50 employees are exempt for now. To avoid closing their businesses, employees have stopped hiring and cut worker hours to avoid the unsustainable cost. It's costing $500-600 a month for each employee. Do you understand? This is a scam. It was $126 before. You're not seeing what they're doing. It's a money grab. It's all about money and a grab. Video. State Department says that North Korea may not have acted alone in the Sony hack. Independent investigators say there is evidence that the hack was initiated or at least aided by Sony insiders. So Sony itself set this up, and I think it was a plot to make the movie more popular, that you'd go see it if they, made a scandal out of it. And wow, I want to see that movie. I want to see what the scandal was all about. That's what's going on. CBS, December 31st. Related story. Many cybersecurity experts say that the FBI was wrong to blame North Korea for the hack at Sony Pictures. Washington Blog, December 30th. There's our point. FBI has no job. Homeland Security took their jobs away. Anyways, Mexico, a judge freed 2 women who were jailed and tortured after witnessing the slaying of 22 accused drug dealers by the Mexican army in June. The army claimed that the men were killed in a gun battle, but the witnesses say that most of the victims were unarmed when they were shot. Gulf News posted 2014, I think it means 2015, December 30th. Misprint. Call. Anyways, video. Utah is demanding that the Bureau of Land Management and Forest Service relinquish their control over 65% of the state's land. If the feds fail to comply, Utah will sue. Unfortunately, it's unlikely that the lawsuit will be tried in federal court, and there is a good reason to expect federal judges to favor their employer. Russia Today, December 30th. Los Angeles. The autopsy of Ezell Ford, an unarmed, mentally ill black man who was shot by 2 LAPD officers last summer, showed that he was shot in the back. The LAPD say that Ford was being followed by police because he was acting suspiciously. They say that he turned to them and attacked them, prompting the shooting. The autopsy proves that claim. They did turn, and he wasn't shot in the back, I guess. RT, December 30th. Jonathan Gruber, the scandal-plagued Obamacare architect who said that the public was too dumb to understand the problems with abomination care, is back in the news with a statement that is even more controversial. In a 2009 policy brief, Gruber said that abomination care cannot be mandated because it has no cost controls and therefore will never be affordable. He said that it will be necessary to tell people they cannot have the medical care they want because it would not work for them. Well, no, you $500 a month and you make $500 a month. How in the hell are you going to pay for it? Newsmax, December 30th. This is the type of craziness that's in this abomination care. And I call it with an A. With an A. Abomination. It's just evil. It's evil. It's out to rob you and put you in a box on the street. If you want to live in a box on the street, agree with Obamacare. That's all I can tell you. Agree with Obamacare if you want to live in a box on the street. The Pope is reported to be planning a campaign to arouse public concern over global warming that doesn't exist. KPBS, December 30th, 2014. This is madness. The Pope is behind the scandal. That means he's getting a piece of the action. I don't care what is said. Whoever goes along with global warming when we're going into a mini ice age is in on a plot to make money. I don't care if it's God himself comes down and says, it's global warming. Well, God's going to have to prove that with the snow and ice and everything that's outside the window. I mean, it's going to have to prove that. We never had winters this bad for the last 5 years, and they're still claiming it's global warming. It gets warm, so it gets colder. Bull crap. It's bull. And now they got the Pope going along with this because that's part of the organization of the New World Order. Don't you know what's going down the pipe? Well, no, you haven't been paying attention. Video, the longest war in U.S. history lasted 13 years in Afghanistan. It is over in name only. 11,000 troops and 7,000 troops from other countries remain in the country. Even though it's over, they're still there. CBS, December 29th. Star, Mike Wallace, a PhD candidate at the University of New Mexico, discovered that Richard Freely, the scientist who was richly rewarded for claiming that rising levels of CO2, here we go, is causing ocean acidification and thereby threatening sea life, committed fraud in constructing his theory. He committed fraud in constructing his theory. Freely omitted data prior to 1988 going back 100 years. When all the data is included, there is no evidence of increasing ocean acidification. Wallace is incensed that it is acceptable among global warmists to omit data and then hide the emissions. So are we. So am I. American Thinker posted December 28th of last year. See how this is going down the pipe? See how this corruption is out there? These people are being paid off. I mean, if I was corrupt enough, I would take the money too, but I just can't in a sane mind take money to lie to the public because you're part of a group or a gang. And no, this guy's part of a gang. People don't like those gangs out there in high positions. Stephen Anderson, a former New York City narcotics detective, recently testified in court that planting drugs on innocent people is a common practice known as flanking. Well, yeah, there was a movie that had that term used in it called flanking. And officers sometimes are pressured by their supervisors to meet high arrest quotas because of the private prisons out there. You understand, they're making money. It's all about money, even if it means framing innocent people. HuffPost, December 28th. They do this all the time. They're making money. They're making thousands of dollars an hour doing this stuff by putting people in prisons that are private and making widgets for the government and other industries. You wonder where the jobs are going? They're going to the prisons for pennies on a dollar. They're slave labor. Haven't seen it yet. It's coming. It's coming openly soon. Maybe we'll have like the end time where they start genetically engineering people with barcodes in their arm when they're born, and it kicks on at a certain time, and if you're not working and getting that thing recharged, you have a heart attack and drop dead. I haven't seen, I'm amazed they haven't stirred that up yet. Anyways, U.S. Jeff Shockley will be the new staff director of the U.S. Intelligence Committee that oversees military agencies. This latest turn of the revolving doors is ironic because Shockley is a lobbyist for academia, formerly known as the notorious Blackwater Company that was investigated by Intelligence Committee for Blackwater Seekers contracts with the CIA. Republic Report 2014, December 28. There you go. Blackwater again. Back in the picture. Oh, the New York bombing. Oh my golly, they're all there. Video. U.S. airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq and Syria has cost American taxpayer over $1 billion to date at an average cost of $8 million in military spending per day. Over the past 4 months, 13,000 airstrikes have been launched by the U.S. in Iraq and Syria. Press TV, December 28th. They're just out killing people, just murdering them. Look, there's a terrorist in that group of 1,000 people. Hit them with a missile. And they take out all these innocent people on the side. Is this what Jesus would do? Is this what you would do even? Take out 1,000 people that have nothing to do with going about their business throughout the day and just be blown to smithereens. I don't think so, unless you're just like them, a narcissist and a psychopath. The UN Small Arms Treaty that was signed by Obama but not ratified by the Senate went into effect on Christmas Eve. The treaty